Give me 1 minute. I need to check my settings. All right. You should be able to hear me. Can you hear me? Hi, welcome. Well, I'm loving your comments and your participation. Thank you. I can't hear you. You're still muted. I'm going to ask you to unmute. There you go.
I am so impressed. You're so profound and wise and giving. I can't believe. Anyway, you're just so incredible.
Honey, well, thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. I've spent a lot of time working on this, and I think it's really important aspect of our human species that we're not playing with, and we need to be working with this system to clear out all of our pain.
Yes. Yeah, you're fantastic.
Thank you. So how's your practice going? You got a big one about wasting your life.
Yeah, and really even more. And so I have lots of questions
Yeah,
when
let's
I'm right.
go.
Okay.
It's kind
I,
of a small, right now we have a small game because my son started school and all these things were happening. So we don't have a ton of people in there, right? We've had upwards of 400 people in the games, which is super fun because everybody's like, popping
yeah.
off with all these ahas and stuff. So we may not have anybody else and you get me all to yourself. So we'll see how it goes. So ask away.
Okay. Well, my question is, my situation is my husband had a serious stroke about 5 years ago. So I've been in overwhelm and just all the negative things you can imagine. But he doesn't speak, he doesn't really communicate, he's lost his memory, he doesn't move,
Okay, hon, that's hard.
clothing, just everything. And so it's real easy for me to fall into tears when I get overwhelmed. And so I wanted to know, I did the list you told somebody on the replay about write all the thoughts,
Yes.
put it on paper. So I did a good bit of that, but I still feel like I got tons of that left. But how do I catch it so that I don't flip into the tears?
Okay. So the thing is the thought, you have to know what are the thoughts? So first of all, the tears are not a bad thing.
Okay.
I want you to check your IGS. My crying is not a bad thing. Open, closed, or neutral. Just hold the thought.
Well, I just feel like I have butterflies here, so that's a closing. Okay, all right. Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. And so just hold the thought. It's okay if I have to cry sometimes. Just hold the thought and let's see. It could close you. It could be opening. So it should be opening if it's true and closing if it's not. It's okay if I need to cry sometimes. Just hold the thought in your head and see what you get.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah,
All
right?
right.
So that's yeah, right? So we have a lot of different beliefs around grief and overwhelm. Tears in your situation are a release for your cellular, at the cellular level of your body, you're holding too much and it needs to pressure cooker valve released and it looks like tears. So what I would do is I would cherish yourself and your tears. What I mean by that is self-soothe. It's okay, Teresa. It's okay. We're okay. Everything's gonna be okay. I love you.
Okay.
And just be like, it's okay. It's okay that this is hard. It's okay that you're overwhelmed, right? We're going to work with overwhelm. Overwhelm is always closing, and it's an idea that you can't get everything done in the time it needs to be done. That's what overwhelm is. Your mind
Yeah.
is pushing all these things like you have to do this and you have to do this and you have to do this and you have to do, or I'm all alone. I can't get it all done, all of that. And it's not true. It's closing. Overwhelm is closing. And that's so it's not true that you have too much to do in too little time. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And so we don't work with it in the game, but we do work with it on Stress to Happiness, which is the program that I'll be sharing with you at the end of this week. And it's a 4 month coaching program where we clear out as many closings as we can. Pretty much all of them go. Um, and you just live in a life of flow and ease, and even with your husband. So, how about guilt? Are you feeling guilt?
Oh, sure. Yes, huge guilt.
So let's talk about that. So tell me about your guilt is always closing.
Right.
Remorse is opening. Notice with guilt, we never take action, we never fix it. It just beats us up inside our own head. With remorse, if you do something and you have remorse, you go and you make amends. You apologize, you fix it. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference in the energy. So, guilt as far as a hint goes, hint is healthy, inspired new thinking, right?
Yeah.
So, The hint for guilt is, what is it that I believe? What rule do I have that I'm a bad person? That I'm a bad person because of it, this thing that's happening, or that I'm thinking, or that I'm doing, and it's not true. It's a false standard that has nothing to do with you. So tell me a little bit about the guilt because I can feel it.
Well, it feels like I have done something to cause this that, and I'm way out in nowhere's land. I don't have any family. So I feel like it's a punishment and I don't know how to respond to him frequently. I mean, it's something new every day. His brain changes and I don't have a path. I don't have an idea. And so I do the best I can, but sometimes I feel like I'm
Okay. So let's work on this together. So, first of all, what part of you and or why do you believe that this is your fault, that you're being punished? Where does that come from?
I'm not really sure, just that, you know, good people, this is stupid, this is childish, but good people have good things happen to them.
Um, that's not always true. So, are you Christian?
Yeah,
Okay. Because it just helps me give context, right?
right.
So, in the Bible, good people have had horrible things happen to them. Look at Job, for instance. He was perfect and right, and God tested him, right? Jesus was crucified.
Yeah.
Can't get any gooder than that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So the thing is this though, it says in the Bible that God takes all things and turns them to his with his will to good. And I know I'm paraphrasing and I've just butchered that phrase, but the thing is it's not about how difficult life is. It's about how we handle it. And it's like the way I like to say it is we're down here and we're polishing our souls into diamonds. And what does it take to create a diamond from coal? Pressure,
Yeah.
right? Pressure. You're learning a lot about yourself in this experience. And there's days where you don't do so good, and there's days where you're really proud of yourself and you did well.
Yeah.
Okay? And the pressure is huge. I don't know why the two of you are in this experience together, but it's important. Whatever it is, the two between the two of you. Now, as far as it's something new every day and he can't speak and he's into that, how did it go with your practice today of dropping into your listening?
Well, it was good. I mean,
How'd
a
it
lot
feel?
of stuff came up all of a sudden.
So what came, well, first of all, were you able to drop into your listening and just be in that feeling?
Yes.
Okay. That feeling is the presence of God in your body.
Oh.
That feeling is the presence of God. He dwells within.
Oh.
He's never, ever away from you. That pure peace, you can get to it anytime you need to.
Yeah, that's huge.
It's huge. And your thoughts carry you away from the presence of God and have you not feel it. And the internal guidance system closes when you get too far away from your divine blueprint and God's will for your life and being in connection with Him. And the opening brings you back into alignment. That's what we're doing here. I don't talk about it that way with everybody because not everybody's a Christian and you don't have to be Christian in order to use your IGS and just drop into this flow and this presence. It's all in every single one of us. It's in every single thing out in the world, in nature. Okay, we're going to talk more about that. So the most important thing you could do with your husband being in the situation that he's in, drop in and be in the presence of God with him. Drop into your listening. He can feel that, even if he's the stroke has completely taken him out and his memory is going and he can't speak and he can't move and all of that. We are vibrational creatures, and he can feel that peace within you. When you're overwhelmed, drop into your listening. Let God comfort you.
Okay.
Go out into nature. Okay, you're never alone. I know that it feels you are alone physically out in the middle of nowhere. You don't have family, you don't have help, but truly, you are never alone.
That's a big one.
There is a presence inside of you with the internal guidance system, paying attention to every thought, supporting you in finding the thoughts that are going to be harmonious and successful in your life. And what comes from the spirit of this energy that's going through us is the fruit of this Holy Spirit. Love, peace, patience, kindness, self-control, all of that. So what you can do is just yourself, go online and look up verses on the Holy Spirit, read through them and notice what transpiring within you.
Okay.
Okay, because that will lead you. And not I know there's a part of you that believes that you don't know what to do with your husband, and every day is a new thing, like you said, and it's absolutely true. But what I want to let you know is there's a wisdom inside of you that will lead you, and I'm going to show you by the end of this week how to step more into flow. Flow is where you're literally being moved by the spirit through your life.
Okay.
Okay, and that will share with you'll be able to start dropping into what is it that I need to be doing now with him.
Okay.
When do I need to be taking care of myself? And how do I need to be supporting this in this moment? I have been put into a lot of different situations in my life where I don't know what I'm going to say. And what I've been taught by God is, it's Luke 12:12 actually, that you show up and I will give you the words that you need. And it's true. You drop into your listening and you wait, and it will come through you. The action you need to take, what you need to do. There's an incredible wisdom inside of your body that's waiting to support you and nurture you and move you into where you need to be. Can you feel the opening on all that?
Uh-huh. Thank you.
You're welcome. So just keep going. You're doing great.
Okay.
Okay. Pay
Yes.
attention to the guilt thoughts because the guilt thoughts are not true.
Okay.
And you're looking for false belief that you're holding. What did either your mother or your father believe that they were being punished in their life?
Yes.
Which one?
My mom.
You pick that up from her, that thought belief.
Yeah.
It's not true for you.
And my grandmother tied my hand behind my back and told me the devil was in me because I was left-handed.
Yeah.
Did that for 4 or 5 years.
I'm sorry. The
Oh,
false beliefs we've held is historically have been are absolutely insane.
crazy.
So that belief that you're
Uh-huh.
being punished, that this is somehow a punishment, is not true. You picked it up from your mom.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have you do an exercise. All right.
Okay.
Not here with me. I'm going to have you do it on your own. I
Okay.
want you to go and sit and you're listening and picture your mom coming to you and say, Mom, I understand that you were afraid and felt like you were being punished and had all these beliefs, but I'm going to give them back to you now. And just watch you hand them as if it's a gift back to her. This isn't mine. I'm going to give it back to you. Okay. And give it back to her. And then give her a big, beautiful hug as you're dropping into your listening. And we're going to I want you to release that. Okay.
Beautiful. I'll do that.
You're not being punished. This is a gift that you get to take care of him. The two of you love each other very much. There isn't anybody else that he would want to be touching him and being with him. And so we're going to flip the thoughts on this experience that you're in with him, and we're going to shift it to be beautiful.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Do you
Thank
have any
you.
other questions?
Not now. That's oodles.
Okay, good. Good. Hi,
Thank you.
Angie. Hey, you're muted. I would love to hear from you. How are you?
Hello.
Hello.
Good. I finally figured out how to get on here.
Good. I'm sorry everybody's having such a hard time. I realize that it says afternoon in the calls in the videos, so I'm gonna have to record the videos, which I was planning on doing anyways. I just didn't want to do it this soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, do you have any questions or any coaching?
Okay, so here is what I noticed this morning. Like the closing, right? They're not always accompanied by a thought. So I was like, okay, I feel a closing. What I'm thinking is, I went through the whole thing, and then, and so much of this stuff runs in our subconscious, I feel like.
So, there's always a thought. We believe that we can only have one thought at a time. Okay, and we are often having two or three layers of thoughts. An example is you're with your kids and you're working on their homework, but in the background, you're realizing that you forgot to pay this bill,
Mm-hmm.
right? You can be closed about this thought that you're not even seeing. It's like a fish in water. You can be closed about the bill and having not having the money for it. And you're working with your kids and thinking, what am I closed about? I'm just helping my kids with my homework. But there's a gnawing thing in the background. And so there's a lot of unexamined assumptions. Think like yellow yield signs that we don't even question, right? She and I had a talk yesterday, and one of the things I was talking about is how I used to get upset with my husband for putting dishes in the sink in the morning, and I was mad. He would leave in the morning and he put dishes in the sink, and I like to wake up to a clean kitchen. It was an unexamined assumption that I had that that's something that I could demand of him, and that I had a right to be mad at him for living in his house the way he wanted to live in his house. Right? I didn't even, there's so many things as women, especially, that we don't even examine. We just believe because of what we've been trained and told. So it'll take you a little bit of time because we haven't been looking at our thoughts in this way. So it's going to take you a little bit of time to find the thoughts that's underneath that's closing. If you keep looking, you'll notice you're like, oh my gosh, I know what I'm thinking. And I did, it's like, it's so a part of Angie that you can't even see it. Does that make sense?
Oh gosh.
The thing is, it happens really fast. The cool thing is when you find that thought and you realize what it is, and then you flip it into an opening, it won't come back. It may come back a little bit, but really you'll be because you felt the opening. It's hard to go back to that old thought that's closing. And so we're clearing out as many closings as we possibly can this week with the few things that we're doing. And just so you can see how different your brain feels and your nervous system feels and your body and beingness feels by getting rid of the things that are yield signs that aren't true for you. So just be patient with the feeling, the closing, right? Um, are you on any hormones or anything like that?
No, I need to be.
Okay, I got a person that I can send you to help you with that. That's a
That
super,
would be amazing.
yeah. Um, we as women also, when our hormones changes, we can get into a low grade anxiety that isn't the internal guidance system.
Yeah, at 48, I am there
Yeah,
for sure.
so we'll know because by the end of this week, you'll have a lot less closings. And if there's a low grade anxiety that's still there, it could be hormonal. It could
Okay.
be that you need some progesterone or you need some of that. So I've got a good person that's affordable.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we live in the same town. She's a friend of mine. She's going to experience my work. So there's a guy up in Bonners Ferry, and
Hi, Teresa.
he's like $80 to go and see him, and then you do the blood work, and then he gets you what you need.
You're kidding me.
Mm-mm.
So I started
100,
seeing a
maybe do
naturopath.
150. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's
It
really,
doesn't matter. I
yeah,
started seeing a naturopath and she wanted to just do my gut biome and I was like, "Listen, I'm telling you, it's definitely hormones.
yeah,
I can feel it all the way throughout my body that
yeah,
they
yeah.
are wonky."
And you can check with your IGS. Is it my hormones? If it opened you, it is.
Immediate opening.
Yeah. So that's a balance we can be working on, and literally he's easy to get into. You might even
Okay.
get in tomorrow. When I felt the lump in my breast, and I was like, this one's different, and I thought this is cancer. I opened.
Oh.
No, it's okay. I was like, because immediately I have my IGS. I had a completely fear-free cancer journey. I felt it, and I was like, this is cancer. And I opened, and I went, oh, I opened, and immediately I thought I'm gonna die. Closed. I was like, okay,
Oh.
I'm not gonna die. Okay, so I'm going to go through this open. I'm going to have to do chemo closed. I'm going to have to do radiation closed. Literally, this is all happening in the shower in a period of like 2 minutes. And I was like, I'm going to be okay. And big opening. I was like, okay, this is just something I need to do. And I opened it getting a double mastectomy. And I went into the doctor, and I had had a breast exam or mammogram like 3 months earlier, and they didn't catch it. And breast exam, everybody. And I went in, and I went in to get my tested to check it again, and I told the woman who was doing the mammogram, I said, I have breast cancer. She's like, oh yeah, la la la. I'm like, no, I do. It's okay. So when you see it, don't freak out. So She did. She saw it and then ran out of the room to go get somebody, you know. And then they come back in. She's like, "We see an anomaly and we want to bring you in." So then they bring me into the sonogram or whatever, and the doctor's in there and they're looking at it and measuring it and doing that. And then they leave the room and they come back in, and the doctor comes in and goes, "You have breast cancer." And I was like, "I know. What do we do next?" And she goes, "No, no, you don't understand, sweetheart. You have breast cancer." And I go, "I know." She's like, "I'm going to be okay. I'm going to do a double mastectomy. I'm not getting radiation. I'm not getting chemo. I know exactly how it's going to go. It's going to be over in about 3 months. It's all going to be fine." And she goes, "How do you know this?" And I told her everybody about the IGS. And she's like, "I wish everybody that had cancer had that, because the fear and the freak out and the upset is almost more dangerous and feeds the cancer more than anything else, right? The chemicals that run through your body, the cortisol and all that." And so, yeah, we just went through the whole thing and they tried to force me into radiation. They tried to force me into chemo. They're like, "No, you're going to do, X amount of chemo and then you're going to have the double mastectomy." I said, "No, I'm not," and it was really pushy. And I said, "I don't need that." And so it's true. We went in, we did a double mastectomy. It's completely gone. I've been cancer free for 5 years. It's never coming back. I'm completely open. They say I have a 1% chance of reoccurrence.
It's
I did not do the estrogen inhibitor. It did not open me to do the estrogen inhibitor. I've walked several people through a fear free cancer journey as well, where they start to go down the path of, "Oh no," and no, I'm closed. And they come right back. Everybody has a different journey with it, but you can do it completely into the opening. Okay. Yeah. So you can use your IGS on everything. You can even use your IGS to check your IGS. Like, "Oh, is that an opening? Oh, I got a bigger opening. Yeah, that was an opening." you know, people say all the time, "I'm not feeling it." Does that open you? No, I'm closed. I'm closed that I'm not feeling it. you know, it's your mind. Your mind has all these preconceived notions and it seems very real. And it seems like, it carries you away. And over the course of a very short period of time, you're going to be able to have complete control over that. Well, not complete. You can't stop your mind from thinking, and you can't stop your mind from freaking out completely. It's like your heart beating. You can't stop your heartbeat. So the key is to not be mad at your mind for being a mind. You wouldn't get mad at your heart for being a heart. It's just to witness it with compassion that it's afraid. We don't take our minds with us when we die. It stays here. And there's a reason, because it's not deeply a part of our spiritual soul. It's not a part of our deepest being. It's something that we have today in this lifetime that helps us survive. We couldn't live down here without a mind and the programming that we got. And also, part of the programming that we got was to give us the dysfunction we need to look at ourselves deeply and heal parts of our soul. That's part of the reason we're here. So it's about working with the mind as a part of yourself that, you know, isn't you. And the more that you get to understand that, the easier it becomes. Like, this isn't me. These fears are not mine. You've had a near death experience. You know there is no fear on the other side.
There is not.
Fear is in this realm. It's not in that in the realm with God. That's why it says so much in the Bible. 365 plus times I hear, "Fear not, fear not, fear not. Do not be anxious. Do not be worried," because all of it is an illusion that's distracting us from God, from our truest, deepest parts of our soul.
Huge opening.
And the cool thing is the more you do this, the more real that becomes and the less real that fear and all that becomes. So, you've got this. Just give it some time. You've only been doing it for a week, a couple days, right? So it takes you had your mind your whole life. It's going to take you a little while to get to know it from this new place.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, and the thing is don't work too hard to find your closings right now. I have designed this with using what I call the Miyagi approach. Remember wax on, wax off with the Karate Kid? He got him doing a repetitive thing over and over again till he was like, "I'm sick of painting your fence and waxing your cars and teach me karate." And he's like, "I have been." So that's what we're doing. I get you doing something so your mind can't mess you up. And then you have aha after aha after aha, and it becomes rooted in who you are. Okay. And you're already successful because the first thing the mind's going to do is tell you you're not successful at this, that it's hard, that you're not getting it, that you're not smart enough. All that stuff will come up. Well, if I just get you doing the practices, then you're going to see it all for yourself and your mind won't be able to trick you into believing you're not good at something that you actually are good at. So we're not working on closings right now. You're just working on dropping into your listening so you can feel that sense of peace. It's a reset. It's a set point. It's a place to start. It's a place you can go to when life gets hard. I'm just going to sit in the sun, drop into my listening, and listen to the birds. Everything my mind is telling me right now that's closing me and causing me suffering is a lie. I'm not going to go there. I'm going to be with God, be still, and know that I am God. And you just sit there and be like, okay, my mind is freaking out. Father, I'm going to turn this over to you. I'm just going to sit in my listening in your presence, and you're going to share with me what I need to do next. That's all we really have to do, although it feels like that's too simple. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have any other questions, Teresa? You're muted, so you can just unmute.
Well, I don't know exactly what the question is, but it's sort of, well, I like what you said, just listen, go into the listening. But when I feel fear, it seems like more than it's not just the three centers of closing when I closing. Is that different than fear? Because when I feel fear, it feels like I'm in a flame. It's everywhere rather than just these three. So what's the distinction between that
So
and
tell me, so the throat, there's three different areas of your internal guidance system, right? And then you have your emotional response. Your emotions are not your internal guidance system. There is a
okay,
belief system out there that was started by a woman named Esther Hicks that we have an emotional guidance system, and that is our internal guidance system. And it's not true. Our emotions are programmed in our childhood, just like our mind is.
okay,
We watch our mom yell at dad for this thing. In the future, we get mad for the same reason. That's why we say, I'm turning into my mother, right? And it's because we witnessed that, right? And so, one of the things that you go through in learning how to use your IGS is I have a course called Emotional Authenticity. And we go through, I literally give you a list of emotions and use your IGS to go through and see what you're really feeling. Because most people can't name, there's like, 100 emotions in there. Most people can't name it. I'm mad, sad, angry, frustrated. Like they got 6 or 7 emotions on a regular basis that they think they're feeling. But when you dig down, you have a much richer and more complex emotional experience that's happening. And when you really can get deep into, I'm feeling bitter, and that opens me that I'm feeling bitter about this. And then you can really look at it. So my mom died suddenly when I was 23. And I had already found the IGS back then. And I was going back and forth because in the grief, it was so powerful. I've never felt anything so powerful as the grief I felt when she died. I literally, after the funeral and everything was done, my boyfriend went to work and I was laying on the middle of my living room floor crying, sobbing, wailing. And when I had thoughts of pity, what about me? And I'm going to be alone for the rest of my life. And, she was my anchor. I was totally closed and tight and sick. And when I had thoughts about how much I loved her and what she gave to me, I was open. Suddenly I realized that my emotions are separate from my internal guidance system. Okay. So the internal guidance system, because we did not know what this tightness is in our body, we named it all kinds of different things: fear, worry, anxiety, frustration, irritation, guilt, right? All these things that tighten us. But really, it's just guidance. Those things are on top of it. So when you feel fear, you have the sensation of the closing of the internal guidance system, and then you are running a story about what's scary.
okay,
There's a story going. That's our emotions are in relationship to the story we tell ourselves. What emotion chemically, because our emotions are chemicals, what emotion are chemically gets put into our body, oxytocin, cortisol, right? What gets released by the brain in response to our story is what creates emotions. Emotions are a chemical experience in the body, just like if you were to drink alcohol. It takes a while for that chemical to leave. Your internal guidance system is not chemically driven. It's driven by a divine presence.
Ah,
So it can change instantly. You'll notice that you'll go from a closing to an opening very fast. And there is no hangover effect from the chemical. It's the reason why you can get in a big old huge fight and then find out what you were mad at didn't even happen. And you're like, I'm still mad. You have to leave me alone for a while. And he's like, but I didn't do anything. I told you I didn't do anything wrong. My phone died. I was, and you're like, I don't care. I know. I'm just still mad. It's going to take me a minute. Your IGS isn't like that. So when you feel the inflame of the fear that you're talking about that's everywhere, it's because your body is generating chemicals that are racing through your whole body and inflaming you. So as soon as you get the story true, going from the fearful thought to the opening thought, and the story is true, and you begin to open, those chemicals will begin to subside. The other thing that'll happen is the more you do this practice, you won't get yourself worked up like that anymore.
yeah,
Because you're like, this isn't true. I'm not going there. So you
yeah.
won't feed the story to the point where the chemicals are getting heightened and heightened and heightened and bigger until you're like, ah, I'm totally terrified. We have a master class that I'm doing on Saturday, and we're going to be talking about emotions and how the internal guidance system works like a compass. And how do you know you can trust this? What's the trust level of how do I know I can trust this and run my life by this? And all that's in the master class on Saturday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And so we'll be sending out the invite for that.
Okay. All
Okay,
right.
great. So it's a good question. Yeah. So just
Thank you.
keep working with it and you'll find that that is going to start calming down.
All right.
All right. Well, I think we're done for the day unless you have anything else. Yeah. Thank you.
Love you. You're
I
fed.
love you too, sweetheart. Thank you for being here. I'm so glad you're doing the game. And I'm
You're
so happy to be able to support you with everything that's happening with your husband.
you're fabulous.
Oh, thank you, Teresa. Thank you. All right, y'all. I will see you tomorrow morning. And I look forward to seeing you or working with you on the discussion group. Bye, Angie.
Bye, Zen. Bye,
Bye.
Teresa.